If you want to move on from something in your past, you truthfully have to let go of everything. Not remember something for keepsakes or hold a grudge until you see him again. You have to move past that and get beyond everything. My name's Nick Tabor. I'm a personal trainer, and I talk about this stuff on this channel because I've lived through it. Now, I've been reading a lot and a lot of inspiration for these particular videos that we do on Thursday and Friday is from this book called Zen Speaks. This is a really cool book. Actually, my mother-in-law introduced this to me years ago. Oh God, almost 20 years ago now, when she was running a bookstore, and I was dabbling in it at the time. And, a lot of little lessons came up, and, I wanted to share, and hopefully I realized a lot of anxiety and depression issues can be resolved, hopefully, through this. So, one of the passages is called Drop Everything. And you have monks who are sitting here, and you have one monk that says, "I've dropped everything. My arms are empty, and I come hither with a peaceful heart." The other monk says, "Well then, let go of it." "But I told you I have nothing. What else can I let go of?" "It's fine. Then keep it." Dropping everything includes casting aside the very idea of dropping everything. If you continually concentrate on dropping everything, you'll never reach the realm of purity and tranquility. So, with this being said, I think a lot about, people who were bullied, or, maybe you had a really bad day, or, maybe you have issues that you don't want to take home. Your boss yelled at you, or if you're watching this and you're in school, like you had bad days and you really don't want to bring that home to tell your mom and dad, or, you had a bully issue, or whatever it may be. Like, people concentrate too much on leaving it at the door. And, years ago when I was a manager of a sales team, we had a lot of tension, and there was a lot of things that said, you have to leave your personal life at the door. You cannot bring your personal life inside. You cannot take anything here at home, because it was, some not controversial stuff, but it was some confidential things that went on that we couldn't talk about. I still can't talk about it, and I haven't done that assignment in years. But, it's not that easy. And, there's days where, people sitting there and they go, I'm going to do that. As soon as I pull in the driveway, that's life, One of my really good friends was a high school teacher of mine, and he was just he was so cool. And he used to tell us a story of how his wife got very used to the fact that when he came home, to not talk to him for 20 minutes. And she was a school teacher, I think, or had something to do with schools and more locally, but he had a long drive home, and when he drove home, he would just go, and, she would always meet him, but he would just sit there and he would scream and scream and scream with the windows rolled up in the driveway, and then finally walk in. And I always thought that was the funniest thing, and years later, I met his brother, and, we talked, and I'm like, how did, Richard do that? And he says, yeah, he just kind of has his quirks, but he learns not to hold his baggage and not think about it. He learned to let it go before he came about and said, oh, this is not the thing, blah, blah, blah. And I think about that a lot. What we're going to do is well, no, I have to drop this. No, I can't talk about this. I can't do it. And things happen in life, how are we going to actually move on? Well, let's talk about it. There's one thing you can do. Number one is you can have a ritual that you can do that truthfully will let things go. I've had stressful jobs in the past, and I'm very lucky that I live very close to where my office is, and if it's a really good day, I walk home. And I'm like, okay, weather's gonna be good the next day. Leave the car at work. No one's gonna touch it. It's gonna be fine. So I'm like, okay, I'll walk home and I'll walk back the next day, and then whatever, I have time to unwind because I don't want to talk about whatever happens. And you gotta find ways to do it. And I have clients that do this who's like, oh my God, this guy at work, I had an argument with somebody on Monday, and it's Saturday right now. How bad was that argument that you carried it all week? And you went, whoa, like, Jesus, it took you that long? But it really is, counts are like, I've got to drop this, I've got to drop this, I got to drop this. But do the ritual or do something, and when I walk home, like, I have the music in my ears, and I'm not thinking about anything. And I'm just, feeling the air, doing that, and I'm just, okay, I'll walk home. And, put a song on and just go through my path, and it empties my mind. And when I'm home, I see my wife. I'm like, hey, great, how's the day go? Today's fine. And you walk through, and then you do what you gotta do, Step 2. If that doesn't work, then what you have to do is you have to be able to communicate it. What your problem is, and a lot of people have this same issue itself, so don't fret that you are, the only one. I see a lot of people who have issues communicating, and, the biggest experts of people on marriage are people who have been divorced. And, people who are not in a marriage at all. So I'm never getting married, and, I do that because, and the thing is, we joke about it, but people don't communicate that issue, and they hold that, okay, well, the ritual didn't work. Oh, I can't say anything. No, you know what? You gotta talk with your partner about the problem or whatever has happened, because if you can't let this go, then you need to communicate with it. You need to figure it out. You need to just let it go, because your partner is your partner for a reason. Your partner is a person who has given their life to be able to say, okay, let me help you. And of course, you do the same. I do the same for my wife all the time. And, we do have our moments, and, we do have our time where it's just like, hey, can we just talk? Like, just talk it all out. And, when you get it all out there and just let it all out on the ground, then there's nothing else you can do. Like, we did a good video on YouTube, just years ago, where we actually talked about how we went through an argument. And, the thing is, I feel you did this because, and then she went, I feel this way because you did this. And then, there's no ego at this point. But if your point is, if you're having a bad day and you do this, like, hey, I've got to talk it out, because your partner also could be very impartial. And when you have somebody, I'm lucky enough I have this, and, she's just over there too. So I'm lucky enough I have a wife who can help me. But, she gets to a point where it's like, okay, you have a problem and somebody's totally outside of it. Obviously, your partner loves you, but they could say, okay, well, here's what we could do. And, they don't want you to carry all that all day, because they don't want you to deal with that. They don't want to deal with it all day. Okay, let's figure it out. And then it leads to step 3 is distraction with purpose. We have this game that, I haven't played in so long, but I think it's my turn tonight. I'm kind of excited to play it. Is called City of Heroes. And, we have friends who play on there. And we put our character up and we do some work. And, we, go fight some bad guys, or go on missions and do some stuff as a team and play. And, hey, it's kind of good. And then the distractions are good, because it's not just, okay, let's pop on a TV show and sit mindlessly. It's, are you doing something that's actively working on, things to be able to really truthfully let go? I hope this helps. There's plenty of videos here. There's a playlist of everything we can do, and this will also help with your anxiety and depression. As always, we climb, and you have yourself a great day. I'll see you in the next video.